Why is Anthem crashing some PS4s? ExtremeTech, Anthem has many problems, but some might be more serious than we initially thought. Beyond the wonky, last week, we mentioned that we've run into. Over and over, much more worrisome was the full system crash that required a reboot and system diagnostics. So far, not only does he point toward a particularly claiming that a PS4 has been bricked after playing Anthem, but Gatch says that Kotaku has also received a different report of the same failure to boot up. Scary, right? While these reports are concerning, it's important not to jump to conclusions before we understand the problem. Gatch points out, NEA undoubtedly deserved blame for shipping such a technically problematic release on PS4, but we wouldn't be surprised if the most severe failures resulted from a perfect storm of a particularly resource-intensive game, overall software stability problems, and the hardware quirks with a small number of consoles. Considering 2 years ago, it seems that there was some sort of peculiarity with a small number of PS4 Pros that caused horrible graphical corruption to appear under very select conditions. Sony, if you're biting your nails over a handful of reports of these catastrophic issues, maybe it's best to hold off until the game has received a few more patches. And at the very least, image credit. Now read. Subscribe today to get the latest ExtremeTech news delivered right to your inbox. We strongly encourage you to read our updated end.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.